Hello, good folks. This is the Ancestry Chronicler here with my Ancestry Chronicles with Deshaun J. Gandy. Thank you for stopping by my YouTube channel. Hey, when you get the chance, please subscribe. Also, hit the like button, of course, if you like the video and you like the content. And make sure that you share with somebody. Also, the notification bell, make sure you click on that because we're going to be sharing some forthcoming videos that are really going to interest you. There's some really great topics that that people want to know. One of the things that we did on the last video that we did, and if you haven't seen it yet, you can check it out. Make sure you do check it out. It's how to begin your ancestral research. And when I posted that, someone hit me up and they had a question to ask. It was in the form of two questions, and the question was because we talked about making sure that you utilize the time-sensitive resources that you have at your disposal, which is your elders. That's your treasure trove. Is your elders. The stories they hold, the memories they have, the things they've collected. So someone asked me a question. They said, "What if?" When you're trying to interview your elders, you're trying to ask questions and they clamp up because there are secrets, whether they're dark secrets or not. They don't have to be dark secrets, whatever dark means for you, but they're secrets and they don't want to share them. What do you do in that scenario? Then the other scenario that the person who saw the video that he asked was, what if your elders or an elder starts sharing a family secret that previous generations or prior generation took to their grave that they didn't want anyone to know about? And what do you do when they tell you that information, especially if that information is damaging? I mean, some secrets are can be damaging, can affect the family or certain groupings of the family in an adverse manner. So what do you do, with that? So we're going to be doing a video on that. I thought those were two very good questions. So we're going to be doing a video on that, a how-to video on what to do when you've discovered secrets in your family research. And I'm also going to blog about it as well because I have also discovered secrets in my genealogical research, secrets that family members, prior generations took to their graves. Others, previous generation took to their grave, but there's still elders alive who still know that secret and intended on taking it to their grave, but it just came up. What do you do with that? Because the last thing you want your research to do is upset, disrupt, break apart family. You're doing family research to bring family together. So I think that's a very important topic that we will discuss. So that will be a forthcoming video. So like I said, please subscribe and also hit the notification bell. So when that video drops, you'll know about it and you can be able to check it out, like it, share it. And when you get a chance, also please go to my website, which is myancestrychronicles.com, the same as as my YouTube channel, My Ancestry Chronicles, but myancestrychronicles.com. Make sure that you join the mailing list, and there you can read my blogs and vlogs that I'll be posting and information, and you can find out more about me and what I do and things of that nature. So what we want to do today is that we want to get into finishing up what we talked about before, how to begin and further that project that you're getting into in researching your ancestry, researching your family, and the history of it. So, if you remember, we talked about last time we talked about talking to the elders, which is your most important resource. It's time sensitive as well. Collecting old photographs, being able to ask your ancestors, your elders rather, about those photographs while you still have them, while they can still tell you who's who in these old pictures. Ask them things about things they've collected in their house and things of that nature. So you can just, if you haven't seen that, you can check out the video that I did. That's on my YouTube channel, and I also blogged about it as well. So you can check out the blog, go to my website, you can read the blog on that. But we're going to further that discussion today, and we're just going to kind of just give you some things to cover that are of import that you want to do. And I think that the first thing, I would hope that by this time that you've already analyzed what it is that you want to do as a researcher. Is it just is it a hobby for you? Is it, just like a pastime, or is it a passion, a burning passion, something that you feel like you have to do? You feel so drawn to it, to where it's like a calling, or is it a vocation? Is it a job? Is it have you gone into this as a career, a field? So understanding those different approaches to it is going to help you utilize the information that I give you today. So one of the things that you want to do is that you want to all that information that you've gathered, stories, the memorabilia, the memories, and those things from your elders. You want to make sure that you can store those things to preserve it, to protect it, to procure it, and so that you have it. So all that information needs to be cataloged, because you can become overwhelmed with all of that information. So you want to protect that information. My great uncle, Glenn Cunningham, former mayor of Jersey City, he was an excellent family historian and genealogist, and he did all of his work before all of these platforms came out via the computer and things of that nature. He was doing all the lead work, going from state to state, library, records halls, and things of that nature, and just learning all this information. He made copies of everything, and he sent a set of copies to my mother, his niece, a set of copies to my cousin Kathy, his other niece. My mother made copies of her copies and gave it to me. My cousin Kathy, unbeknownst to her, what my mom did, she made copies, sent them to my mother, and sent them to me. And then I made copies of my copies, so I have copies of hard copies. We have 4 different locations of hard copies of our family's information. And then you also want to digitize it, store it, make sure that you get an external hard drive, save it to the cloud. Even if you're building your tree, whether you're using Ancestry.com, I have a tree on Ancestry. I have multiple trees on Ancestry.com, and I also manage several trees of other people on Ancestry.com. But you want to be able to back your tree up. God forbid you do all that work and you lose that information in an instant. It's painful. You will cry. You're gonna feel the pain, and you don't want to feel that kind of pain. Trust me. So back it up. Make sure you have all that information backed up, because it's just not for you, but it's for your posterity. You want to make sure that all the research that you've gathered, that you've done, that is not lost with you, that it's passed down, and that the forthcoming generations after you, that they have access to that when they begin their research, that they can tell the stories, share all the ingredients that you've passed down that make up the recipe of who they are, and things of that nature. So that's really important. All right, so protect the information. Also, you want to be organized. You don't want information all over the place. You don't want, when I first started, I had notebooks galore. I had pieces of tissue and napkins and paper towels and garbage bags, and you name it, I was writing on everything. I wrote on the tissue box, and you had to like turn it and flip it and all upside down, open it up. I had written on just everything. And then my wife was like, "Can I throw this away? Can I throw?" I was like, "No, that's important. I got important information on it." So she went out and brought me a bunch of notebooks, and she was like, "Here, get organized." And so you're gonna need to be organized. That is super, super important. Another thing you want to do is you want to gather people in your family who have a shared interest in what you're doing. There may be people in your family who love to collect the family stories, and they're the ones at all the family reunions and all the get-togethers, the holiday times. They're sharing the stories that were passed down from the elders, passed down, and they're telling all those stories. Bring that person in. Also bring in the persons or persons in your family who love to collect pictures. They have all the old photographs that great grandma Susie had, and great aunt and great uncle Johnny and great aunt Lorinda had. It just, bring that person in, and find people in your family who have a passion for this, who have some semblance of an interest in what you're doing in doing this kind of research, and bring them in. There's nothing like family networking and being able to work together as a collective unit. You can divide the research sometime, and you focus on that, and I'll focus on this part, and we'll come together and bring things together. I have a plethora of family members on both sides who are I'm constantly learning from them, and just how to do research, as well as receiving information from them in terms of what they've researched. And so there's that reciprocity that we have from working together. So you want to do that as well. Another thing you want to do is you don't want to just be a genealogist. You want to be a family historian. And what I mean by that is that a genealogist is just going to, he or she is going to, they're going to do the research. They're going to know who begat who came from who, and things of that nature, who descended from who. But a family historian is going to tell you not just who you descended from, but who is the person you descended from. Stories about them. So it's like putting flesh on a skeleton or putting clothes on a body. They're going to give them life, bring that individual, those ancestors to life. So you want to be a historian. So share those stories. Start sharing those stories. Get a webpage. Start a blog. Get together at family meetings. Family dinners, holiday times, family reunions, and choose your favorite ancestor. Choose the person that is most attractive to you in your research, and tell his or her story. Practice telling those stories, because that's how the information gets passed down. That's the treasure trove right there. So that's how you pass it down. It's being passed down through storytelling. So that's what you want to do. Another thing that you also want to do is that you want to, how would I put it? Just keep seeing where you are in your research and knowing how to adapt to the information. You may want to prove one thing, but the information is saying something different. Or the story that Uncle Lenny gave you, the research is what you discover in your research is not matching up. I'm going with Uncle Lenny's story. No. Follow the information. Follow the facts. Understand the difference between your primary resources and your secondary resources, and follow the facts. Follow the information and where it leads. And don't be afraid to go down a rabbit hole. Some people say, oh no, you want to stay focused. This is what you want to do. You want to stay focused. Yeah, you want to stay focused. But sometimes in your being focused, something's going to hit you, and it's going to pull you down a rabbit hole. And, for all intents and purposes, don't be afraid to go down that rabbit hole. You may learn something. And it's not like you can't ever come out of the rabbit hole and get back to, what you were talking about. I was talking to a fellow blogger of mine, a friend of mine. His name is Jonathan Travis. If you get a chance, check out his blogs. His website is Black in America. And that's America with the K. And we're just talking about blogging and writing and things of that nature. We were talking about how sometimes you just want to write what you're feeling. Write your passion. Tell the story where your passion is leading you. It might not be the topic that you want to talk about, but sometimes in writing your passion and the fire that's burning in you, that may be the story that needs to be told. You can always get back to your intended story. It's not like that story's gone forever. You can get back to that. So don't be afraid to follow the passion, but make sure that you stick with the information. Don't have, going there with preconceived notion. Well, this is what I heard, and so this is what I heard, and they've been telling this story for the last 4 generations. It has to be true. Follow the information. Another thing is that you're going to run into what they call the brick wall. And for those African Americans who have enslaved ancestors in your family history, you come to a place where anytime before 1870, for the most part, enslaved people were not named. They weren't, documented and things of that nature. So, it seems like that. So they call it the brick wall. Hey, brick walls, it may be there, but you can scale it, you can tear it down. You can find out information about your ancestors who were enslaved. I attended a Zoom conference today of the Afro-American Historical and Genealogical Society for Memphis and the South States, the Mid-South. And there were other chapters there, the New York chapter, the New Jersey chapter, and it was just really great information and very inspiring. And one of the things that one of the speakers talked about was, don't let anybody tell you. I don't care who they are. They could be a genealogist. I don't care who they are, what color they are. Don't let anybody tell you that you cannot find information on your ancestors, on your relatives. You can. It's going to take some work, but you can. There's so many resources out there, and there's so many resources that's going to be made available through all of these resource platforms where you're going to be able to, where you can even now research your family. It's just knowing what research to tap into. It's just knowing what kind of stick-to-itiveness you need to put into the effort in doing the research. So I'm gonna put some links of these resources in the video as well in the comment section, so you can have access to all of those things to help you out in your resource and in your research. But don't think that that. Listen, if these people lived, if they had a life, then there is some record of that life. Somehow, somewhere or another, that life that individual that he or she lived is recorded. To whatever degree, it is recorded somewhere. It's just a matter of finding it and knowing how to look for it. Alrighty. And so, keep doing those things. Like I said, and make use of all the platforms that's out there. I use Ancestry.com, as well as have created content for them as well. I use 23andMe, FamilySearch.org. There's just so many resources out there, so many platforms to use. One of the great platforms I use, and it's not so much for research, if I could say that, but it's definitely for self-fulfillment, is AfricanAncestry.com. I just recently found out, I believe it was in June of this year, that my father's matrilineage leads back to a tribe in Africa called the Limba people. They live in present-day Sierra Leone. And on my mother's matrilineage, the roots, and both sides was 100% DNA match. The roots, the DNA match led back to the people group, the Bamileke people that live in present-day Cameroon, and that's just awesome for me. So I've made connections already with people from those countries, and just reached out to them, and so knowing that the fourth great grandmother on my father's side, the third great grandmother on my mother's side, because that's the lines that we were tracing. Knowing that if they didn't come from that place, their mother, their grandma, their great grandmother did. So it just gives you just a rounded sense and helps you understand who you are. So, use these resources. They're there for you to help you do your research, to help you discover, to help you put together the ingredients that will form the recipe of who you are. So that's it. I'm finished. Please, if you have any questions, put them in the comments. If you feel there's something I left out, something you want to add, put it all in the comments, and I will try my best to answer the questions, address the comments, and things of that nature. Look, we want to do this together. I don't know everything. I just know all things. Or is it like I don't know all things, but I know everything? Nah. I don't know everything. I don't know all things. So I'm still learning, So if there's something you felt I left out that's valuable, please put it in the comments so others can read it and we can share it and utilize it. And again, subscribe, please. And also like the video and share it and hit the bell for notifications. There's going to be future content that's coming out. I have some guests lined up that we're going to be interviewing and talking to on the how-to videos that we're doing on My Ancestry Chronicles with Deshaun J. Gandy. And also still working on the series that's going to be coming out, which is Front Porch Stories, The Recipe of Me, which is a new series that I'm going to be doing where we're going to specifically be talking about different topics and just stories that were shared and told to us while sitting on front porches with my ancestors, because I believe that we can share information that inspire others through the art of narration, through the art of storytelling. And that's a transaction, to being able to have your elders invest those stories into you, and then to be able to make a withdrawal, knowing that you have a resource to withdraw that information from and give it to others. So we're going to be doing that in the future. And also, you get a chance, visit my website, myancestrychronicles.com, join the mailing list, and check out the blogs, share it with other people. Thank you very much. Peace, peace, peace. This is Deshaun J. Gandy, the Ancestry Chronicler. Thank you.